All right, guys, we're going to rock and roll here on the I Love CVille show in a matter of moments. Give that show a like and a share. Give it a like and a share. Give it a like and a share anywhere you are watching. A lot of new news today. Some of it's sad, unfortunately. Thank you to the better half and to Nicholas Erpy, the CMO of Talented Proportions of Emergent Financial Services, for sending us some talented, for some important content that we are working into the program today. So thank you to both for determining, dictating, and changing the pace of today's program. King of Greenwood, Kevin Higgins, has sent over some content a matter of minutes ago that I will likely work into tomorrow's program. So King of Greenwood, thank you for doing that, Kevin Higgins. We will highlight that most likely tomorrow. A lot we're going to cover on today's show with a lot of news, including the unfortunate nature of a new restaurant closing in Charlottesville, and it's a good one, and it's one that I've patronized a number of times. We will let you know which restaurant that is in a matter of moments on the program. We have the University of Virginia and mask mandates, news from UVA. A lot to cover on the program, guys. Give the show a like and a share. Personal property taxes are going up. We talked about this on Real Talk in Giddy Up and Get Ready. This is going to gentrify the community even more, unfortunately. Hit that like button, share the show with friends, comment, join us. Ron Gantz, hello, welcome to the program. We work hard for you. We only ask a like, a comment, and a share from you in return of the hard work. Judah Wickower is our fabulous director. We'll start this program in T-minus 20 seconds. J-Dubs, I can rock when you're ready to rock. Guys, welcome to the I Love CVille show. My name is Jerry Miller. Thank you kindly for joining us live in Charlottesville, the Commonwealth, the country, and the world on the I Love CVille network. So much to cover on this program, guys. We are jam-packed. We are loaded with content from start to finish. This is where news originates, right here on the I Love CVille network. Today's program presented by Skooma Boutique Dispensary, Charlottesville Downtown Mall, located next to Rapture Restaurant. Skooma Boutique Dispensary, locally owned and operated with certificates of analyses for everything in the store. Scott Wagner of Scott Wagner Integrated Medicine, a phenomenal partner as well. We love you, Dr. Wagner, and we know you have the community's back at Scott Wagner Integrated Medicine. Hit the like button, share the show. We're going to we're going to pass along some news to you that's going to be impactful. Queen of Earlysville, Vanessa Parkhill, hello and welcome to the program. King of Virginia Beach, Scott Aaronworth, the Esquire Extraordinaire, hello and welcome to the show. Judah Wickower is our enterprising and talented director. Two-shot, if you have that ready, Judah, and wave to your adoring fans if you could, sir. A lot we're going to cover today, Judah. And keep it on the two, and then we can go back to the one here in moments. A restaurant closing, UVA mask news. Masks can come off on March 21. We have vehicle and personal property taxes going up in the city of Charlottesville, potentially further gentrifying this community. We have a Dewberry Hotel press conference that I've been told by multiple landlords and real estate owners on the downtown mall, a press conference scheduled for February 28th. So boys and girls, February 28th is next Monday at 10 a.m., a press conference at the Dewberry Hotel, or the White Elephant, the skeleton on the downtown mall. A new Chipotle, Neil Williamson, the king of content, the president of the Free Enterprise Forum, lets us know a new Chipotle for Holly Mead. Judah Wickhauer, 146 new cities. And in the U.S., 146 new cities in the United States of America have become billion-dollar cities in 2021, the highest number of new entrants in a single year. Over 481 cities now in the U.S. are billion-dollar cities in which the typical home has a value of at least $1 million. And boys and girls, 4 Kmarts left in America. Kmarts are going the way of Blockbuster Video, which now there are none.
That was a surprise to me.
4 only? I mean, there was a time where you could go to Kmart, buy just about anything you want, and leave with some Little Caesars pizza and some Crazy Bread.
Every other block.
Right? And then Duke UVA, national television, Blue Devils, 5-point favorite, 7 o'clock tip-off, John Paul Jones Arena, and what may be a must-win game for the Wahoos if they want to go dancing and march in the tournament. Judah, you ready to rock and roll?
Yeah, ready to go.
One shot, baby boy. I can't wait to do this with you.
Baby boy.
No, it's a term of endearment.
It's a little bit odd, I've got to say.
All right. One shot, amigo. One shot, Fred. All right, the lead of the program is a sad one, and it was passed to me by my better half and Nicholas Erpy, the CMO of Emergent Financial Services. Nicholas Erpy, we love you. This is the lead. Shadwell's Restaurant on Pantops is closing. I will read to you the Facebook post that was published minutes ago. Hello, friends and neighbors. It is with mixed emotions that we announce that the Shadwell's chapter of our story has come to an end. Last night was our final service. The exciting part is that we will be announcing the next chapter of our Eat, Drink, Gather journey in the coming days. We thank all of our loyal Shadwell's customers for their patronage through the years and hope that you will support our new venture moving forward. Stay tuned, Charlottesville. Shadwell's, Pantops, closing its doors. I want to give a little background on Shadwell's. Shadwell's is owned by the PK, I always mess your last name up, PK. PK Kameth, I believe that's his name. He's a commercial broker, very talented one, but it's the same restaurant group that owns Fry Spring Station, Augusta Kitchen, and Ivy Provisions. Shadwell's used to be a steakhouse. Shadwell's tried to create a neighborhood restaurant and bar setting that is certainly needed in eastern Albemarle County, Pantops, Keswick area. They rebranded, converted a steakhouse into a local eatery. They even pulled the brand from the Shadwell's area that's located in Keswick to help localize, personalize, and humanize the business model. Shadwell's, my family very much enjoyed going to. I thought the food was approachable, the brunch and lunch in particular. They had fantastic happy hour specials, a separate bar if you wanted that bar vibe. They had outdoor seating, which they improved with PPP money. They had a large and vast dining room that offered space between guests, which was paramount during the pandemic. Space and dining rooms for people to feel comfortable and confident. Unfortunately, this business is closing. It's no secret that labor shortages, cost of goods, and obscene inflation are stinging our favorite restaurants in this community. Some in the community are taken aback by sandwiches and brunch items and cocktails running $15, $16, $17, $18, $19. Entrees, $30, $35 and up. The reality, that is the nature of where we stand today, with a number of items in restaurant business models upticking dramatically. Ramekins, paper, to-go, bags in containers, pork, wings, bacon, you name it. Compounding the matter is labor shortages. A lot of restaurants, which we adore and love at I Love CVille, the local ones, adore and love, are uncertain of how to respond. The ones that may be in the most precarious setting are the ones that are reliant upon heavy staff, sit-down service, as opposed to a quick serve, order at a register, pick up your food at the window, take it and to go. Shadwell's was not the quick serve model. What is especially concerning for me about this is PK and his team had the purchasing power that individual unit owners do not. PK and his team could leverage the purchasing power of Augusta Kitchen, Fry Spring Station, Ivy Provisions, and Shadwell's, 4 units, 4 brands, under one restaurant ownership umbrella to help minimize costs some. So when a 4-unit restaurateur closes one of its brands, it is concerning. It is concerning because of the purchasing power I identify. It's also concerning because he's losing a little bit of leverage there to keep costs down for his 3 other active units. They say in the Post, and I'll read it to you again, to prepare yourself for the next pursuit. Let me read it verbatim for you. Prepare yourself, community, for the next chapter of our Eat, Drink, Gather journey in the coming days. We thank all our loyal Shadwell's customers for their patronage through the years and hope that you will support our new venture moving forward. Now, I want to relay some of the things I'm hearing from the community. This announcement was made minutes ago, and the last night of service was yesterday evening. So there was not pomp and circumstance or a runway of announcement that they're closing. There was not preparation for the community that this brand and restaurant was closing. It was not announced months ago. In fact, the closing was announced after the fact, with yesterday evening being the last night of service. Many folks are responding in anger because of this lack of preparation. And they are saying, hey, we have gift cards. Are we now not allowed to use these gift cards at the restaurant because you're closed? They are saying that if you had given us a heads up, we would have come in and supported you, but now we are unable to do so because you made the announcement after you closed. They are asking why the announcement wasn't made in advance. And I'm empathetic to both sides. Fair questions from customers, especially those who have spent money on gift cards, either for themselves personally or for as gifts for loved ones and friends.
And oftentimes those gift cards were bought specifically to help help restaurants when the pandemic hit.
Good point. Are you on the two-shot?
No.
Let's go to the two-shot. That's a phenomenal point. Make that point again, please, Judah, and let's keep it on the two-shot here. Well said. I love that you jumped in there.
Well, I know that we and quite a few other people were advertising isn't the right word, but pushing gift cards, especially near the beginning of the pandemic, because we all knew that restaurants were in a really bad place, and one very easy way to help them out, give them a little boost, however small, was to go in and buy gift cards that you could either save and use later, or give out to friends and family. And either way, you're helping to support the restaurant by giving them money when they really need it.
Well said. Jump in more. Interject more. And when you interject, just click to the two-shot and do it. Because, dude, that was a phenomenal point. And this network and what we did, you and I, was encourage thousands in this community, tens of thousands, to buy gift cards to help out these restaurants.
Yeah. So I can certainly see how people might be. I mean, I'm sure not all of them. For all of them, that wasn't the case. But I'm sure there were some people that went out and bought gift cards specifically to help a restaurant. And they're right. If the restaurant doesn't even give them any notice, you just wasted money.
Yeah, I'm empathetic. We're empathetic to both. I'm empathetic. I know you are. You have one of the biggest hearts in this community. We're empathetic to both. Mm-hmm. From the Shadwell side, ownership side, they keep this on the DL because they worry about staff potentially stealing. They worry about staff quitting before the last night of service because their job is going to go away.
Well, that brings up a question of, well, I mean, I'm sure they're doing right by their employees, but
we don't want to assume.
We don't want to assume.
You hope that internally that they were tipped off that, hey, you're going to not have a job, and they didn't find out today after the last night of service was yesterday.
You were just making the point that they might not want to let them know so that they don't steal stuff.
That's what I worry about.
So the question is, did somebody just get a goodbye?
A text this morning, was it the quintessential breakup over text?
Hey, just want to let you know this is everyone's last day.
It's a good point.
It's a hard way to lose a job.
Hard way to lose a job. It's a hard way to have a breakup. It's a hard way to anything. Very impersonal. We don't want to assume. We're just having a conversation here for the sake of a talk show.
I certainly would hope that they would give their employees a little heads up, chance to start looking.
Very well said. You're bringing it today. Well done. I'm applauding you. Excellent work, too. I would also hope that with them owning other brands, Augusta Kitchen, Ivy Provisions at Fry Spring Station, that they can funnel. Yeah, they can funnel some of that talent to the other brands and units.
Yeah.
Certainly an advantage that a 4-unit restaurant group has over a 1-unit restaurant group.
Yeah.
Especially with A-level talent that's hard to find, even B-level talent, you don't want them to leave the company. So the news that we lead with is Shadwell's on Pantops closes. We wonder what's going to happen with the gift cards. We wonder if the staff was given a heads up. And we also wonder what their next approach, what their next endeavor is going to be with this location. I will say this, and Judah, you jump in here. I live on that side of town in eastern Albemarle County, as you know. Your family, the Wickhowers, enjoy eating out quite a bit. I will say that area, that corridor, very much needs a business model like this. You got from locally owned restaurants that offer sit-down, approachable, casual in that market. And please help me out, guys, for those that are watching. Carol Thorpe, Queen of Jack Jewett, welcome to the program. You got Tip Top, but that's a diner. Very different than what Shadwell's was trying to do. You got Guadalajara.
Is Shadwell's considered, what did you call it?
I consider it American. American sit down, not quick serve. Is that what you were asking?
No. I was under the impression that Shadwell was a little more higher end.
I think Shadwell's initially, and that's a good question. Lauren is putting on the feed great beers and soup at Shadwell's. They alluded to a reopening and maybe more sports bar like. A sports bar on that side of town would absolutely crush it.
I
Shadwell's initially started as like this neighborhood restaurant.
Okay.
where the cliche is everyone knows your name. You got the bar on the left with the TVs and good happy hour. You got the big dining room, and you got some outside seating that they amplified with PPP money during the pandemic.
Like a local Applebee's.
Yeah. A locally owned Applebee's. A locally owned TGI Fridays, but locally owned.
Yeah.
But then what happened, and it's happened to so many, this pandemic is just increased the cost of goods for everything.
Yeah.
So the price points started getting to be,
Well, the prices go up and people aren't going out as much. So that, I mean, I think we see this across a lot of sectors where, you know, it's almost like the snowball where one thing starts the other thing and the other thing affects the one thing and you just start rolling and prices go higher and higher.
a catalyst of concerning KPIs. Inflation, labor, supply chain, less customers, slimmer profit margins.
Mm-hmm.
It's the reality of the business right now. Unfortunate. So, before we move on to the next topic, which we will hear in a matter of minutes, here is the questions I'm going to leave with Judah. What is next for the group? They allude that something is on the horizon. What is next in their journey, which is the word they used in the post. Second, Lauren makes a phenomenal comment on one of the 15 Facebook pages we're watching this show upon. A sports bar at this location would crush it. For some reason, and perhaps it's pandemic related, that sports took a freeze during the pandemic, but the sports bar concept has been deprioritized in this community. What sports bars can you name off the top of your head? Buffalo Wild Wings on 29 North, right? Wild Wing Cafe on West Main and the train station closed. That was the premier locally owned sports bar, Wild Wing Cafe, Chad Ragland. It closed, one of the first ones to close during the pandemic. You got Buffalo Wild Wings, a chain on 29 North. Citizen Burger Bar. Lauren is putting in the feed Lazy Parrot. I will give Lazy Parrot a sports bar. We'll call Lazy Parrot a sports bar. Tons of sports, beers, bar food. I'll give that a sports bar. Very good call. Citizen Burger Bar, I'll call a sports bar. Boylan Heights, you can call a sports bar. Lauren is putting in the feed Timberwood Tap House. I'll call Timberwood Tap House and Timberwood Grill a sports bar. Viewers and listeners in this program, Scott Aaronworth, sports bars.
There's a pizza place in Stonefield. Is it Matchbox?
Matchbox, a sports bar?
Last time I was there, they had like 4 or 5 screens up, all playing sports. I don't know if that counts or not.
I'm getting this from Georgia Gilmore. Georgia Gilmore is writing this on the feed. This is the beautiful aspect of this show. It's crap. This was posted 12 minutes ago, and then it's passed along to us to viewers and listeners of the community. Georgia Gilmore, thank you for watching. Georgia, you routinely watch the program. Give me the location. You don't have to give me the exact address because you're earning queen status for your location. Georgia Gilmore says this: they're renovating and potentially rebranding into what is now going to be called the Piedmont. Renovating and potentially rebranding into what is going to be potentially called the Piedmont.
So they're keeping the building and just starting something new there?
That's a great question.
Maybe they're keeping a lot of their staff to help with the reformation, whatever you want to call it.
Great comment from you, Georgia Gilmore. Let us know your location so we can give you a moniker here in our listener and viewership. The renovating and rebranding into something potentially called the Piedmont. I mean, that location is bona fide because that side of the county is underserved.
And it's on the way home for a lot of people.
It's on the way home. I drive by it
Mm-hmm.
constantly. So keep our ears peeled. We'll see if we can reach out to PK on this as well. I think the next topic we need to cover on the program is the University of Virginia, with its announcement yesterday late that students, faculty, staff, and visitors can bare their faces again on March 21st. UVA officials plan to lift mask mandates on March 21st. These mandates have been in place for an extended period of time. People, vaccinated or unvaccinated, vaxxed or unvaxxed, will no longer be required to wear a mask in many of UVA's owned or leased spaces. This is significant. The message was signed by Jim Ryan, Provost Lisa McGill, COO JJ Davis, and CEO of UVA Health, Dr. K. Craig Kent. The most powerful people at the most influential and powerful brand are saying March 21st, mask can be removed. The 21st of March is a week after students return from spring break. That gives a little bit of buffer of wearing masks after students go and wine and dine and party and get after it, wherever they do, on a spring hiatus. I started this week on this network by relaying the pulse of the community that we're experiencing. We're seeing ourselves, my family in particular, packed Guadalajaras, packed South Street breweries, packed Three Notch Brewery. Keith Smith says packed Brazos Tacos. We're seeing vaccinations high. We're seeing COVID confidence and COVID fatigue. And we expect March to be gangbusters in this community. The United Kingdom lifted all COVID restrictions on Monday. Its prime minister said, no more restrictions, United Kingdom. That announcement on Monday. The tide is turning, and it's turning positively. On March 1, boys and girls, that is Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, public schools, the parents will be able to choose whether their kids wear a mask in schools or not. Private schools, parents will be able to choose whether their kids wear a mask or not. It won't be school boards or suits telling the parents what to do. It will be the decision-making of the parents themselves when it comes to their most precious commodities. COVID confidence is a very real thing. You'll see more real estate listings come on the market. You'll see folks flooding restaurants at a greater frequency and clip. You'll see weddings return, hospitality return, live music return. Fridays After 5 starts in April in Charlottesville. The warmer weather is springing hope that is needed for us. It is at our studio 73 degrees right now. UVA, mask mandate, hasta luego, on March 21st. Wow. Next topic on today's program is something that came up on Real Talk. Keith Smith does a hell of a show. On Wednesdays, Scott Morris joined us. Look, I'm going to cut to the chase and put this in very layman's terms. The vehicle, automobile, car, truck market is insane right now. And I'm going to put it in perspective with some assessment values for Honda Civics, for Ford F-150s, two of the most popular makes and models in America. But here it is in a nutshell. We have a massive chip shortage. Chips. Cars are computers. Chips. We have a chip shortage. And because of that chip shortage, manufacturers cannot produce vehicles at the clip that they're needed. And because inventory is ridiculously, obscenely low with cars right now, the cost of these vehicles are going through the roof. Textbook supply and demand conundrum. And as a result, used cars are spiking or increasing in value at clips and rates we've never seen before. To put that in perspective, a 2013 Honda Civic, its 2021 assessed value was $6,875. That same 2013 Honda Civic, its 2022 assessed value is $9,650. That's a difference of basically $3,000. It went up $3K in assessed value, a 2013 Honda Civic year over year. Let's take the F-150. A 2016 F-150 pickup truck. Its assessed value last year was 23,850 Bs. Its assessed value this year is 28,200 Bs. That's a difference of roughly 5K, 4,400 to be exact. Now, you're going to ask, hey, isn't it a good thing that our used car values have gone up?
No.
Two shot. It's chatter. We talked about this on Real Talk today.
It's the same as with houses going up. You say, okay, great, my house went up, and if I sell it, I make more money. But then you still need to buy another house. And if house prices are all up, then it's not, what did you make money on?
If you sell your car...
Maybe you buy a smaller house or a cheaper used car. But is that really what you want to do?
Judah Wickower on fire today. Take it a step further. Taxes on houses based on assessed value.
Yeah.
Houses going up in value, less money in your pocket because you're paying the government more Bs because your home went up in value.
Yeah.
Cars, trucks, vehicles.
And I think Scott said it the best. What are you doing if you're the people that really can't afford that tax or a new car are the people that just need a car to go somewhere. They don't care that the price went up $3,000. They don't care that their used car's price actually went up. I mean, that's just absurd. But here we are, and you've got somebody that's got to use, and I saw something somewhere that made the point that, you know, I bought my used car 5 years ago, and now you're saying the price is going up and I have to pay more money on it? What am I going to do? I'm going to sell it and make a profit? No. I need the car to get to work, and I need the work to pay the taxes, and it's absurd.
Give Judah Wickower some props on the feed. I'm giving him some props on the show. I freaking love when you're like this. I love when you're like this. So let's talk about the cause and effect. Assessed values on cars increase, trucks increase. Judah just identified we need the car to go to work. So who gives a rat's...
Yeah, who cares what the car
A rat's tail, we're not using profanities anymore. A rat's tail that the value of the car went up.
Right.
The only thing that's hurting you is the government on June 6th, the local jurisdiction on June 6th and December 6th is going to send you a personal property tax bill and ask you for more money because your car assessed, the value of your vehicle is now much higher than it was year over year. So you have literally at the same time a collision, a catastrophe of this. How assessments in the city of Charlottesville year over year went up 12%. Inflation is trending year over year at a 7% increase. Gasoline is going and sniffing the door of $4 a gallon, and wait till we see what the impact of Ukraine-Russia debacle is going to be for gasoline. The city of Charlottesville is considering a 10-cent real estate tax rate increase. Now personal property taxes on your vehicles are going to go up because the assessed values of those vehicles are higher. All these things are happening at the same damn time.
Yeah. I mean...
the same time.
What do you do? Sell everything and go live in the wilderness?
What do you do? Move away? What's happening? Folks on the margin getting gentrified out of Charlottesville. Albemarle County getting gentrified out of this town. Rich playground.
Well, and not even just Charlottesville. What did Keith say the other day about, I think it was Buckingham? He said there were 3 houses on the market right now that were under $250,000. And after that, it jumps to, I think it was close to $450,000.
Significantly more.
So it's not just Charlottesville. Like if you're looking for a cheap house outside of Charlottesville, so you can make the kind of money that you make in Charlottesville, how far are you going to go?
How far are you going to go with gas at $4?
Yeah.
How far are you going to go to the epicenter of employment? Even more concerning, the opportunity cost of your time commuting as opposed to climbing the professional ladder, pursuing other jobs. It's bananas what is happening here. And we try to follow it and relay it to you as layman's terms and as succinctly and as simply as possible. Because we need to get engaged as a community. It is concerning. Personal property taxes are going to go up at the same time that assessments on real estate have gone up. At the same time, gasoline is more expensive per gallon. At the same time, groceries are more expensive than ever before. At the same time, the city of Charlottesville is considering a 10-cent real estate tax rate increase to fund one school at a $75 million clip, Buford, for a project that's going to take years to finish. And by the time it's done, the people that the project was going to serve can't afford to live in the community anymore. Am I reading this wrong?
Or own a car.
Am I reading this wrong?
No. It's a tsunami of price raises and gentrification, possibly. What are you going to do?
Now we are seeing the brutal nature of this post-COVID world we're living in. A Darwinistic, brutally aggressive world that lacks empathy when it comes to economics.
I mean, at some point, you wonder if it's just a beast, if it's a force of nature. I mean, is there anyone at the wheel right now?
I can't answer that question. I'm at a loss for words. I'm rarely at a loss for words. Who is at the wheel?
Yeah, imagine you're sitting in the back of a car and you look up front and realize there's nobody in the driver's seat.
Who is at the wheel?
Yeah.
Carol Thorpe. Carol, we love when you watch the program and you comment. You make the program better. She's the queen of Jack Jewett. She's exactly right. Listen to this comment from Carol Thorpe, everyone. Carol Thorpe follows this stuff as closely as we do on this network. City Council was put on notice last night that this tax increase is coming to virtually every city resident. She's talking personal property taxes. She continues, with that knowledge, will they have the cojones? I love when you use cojones, Carol. Will they have the cojones to still raise the real estate tax rate a possible 10 cents, knowing that they will already gain $2 million from the personal property tax increase? Will they put the squeeze on local taxpayers, claiming they could not do anything about the personal property tax increase when they could have offset the pain to the taxpayers by easing the real estate tax rate hike? That's freaking perfectly said. This is what she said in a nutshell. Are you ready, Judah? Mm-hmm. The personal property taxes, because the assessments have gone up, are going to create $2 million of incremental revenue for the Charlottesville jurisdiction. $2 million. She's saying with this newfound money of $2 million, and remember, Charlottesville has to tax people on personal property taxes based on fair market value of that personal property. Neil Williamson taught us that on Real Talk this morning. There's no wiggle room on that. Taxes on personal property are established on fair market value of that personal property. And right now, the fair market value of used cars is expensive. Expensive. What council can control, what they can massage and manage, is the 10-cent real estate tax rate increase. Do they weigh the scales, the proverbial scales of justice, and say we're getting an extra $2 million from something we cannot control, personal property taxes, so we drop that advertised 10-cent real estate tax rate increase, some, to offer relief to our citizens who are otherwise getting kicked, in Carol's words, the cojones from every single side: assessments, inflation, groceries, gasoline.
Well, two things.
Good job, Carol.
The 10 cent was the cap. That's
10 cents is the highest it can go.
As high as they can go.
It can go lower.
Yeah, they don't
it's
have
advertised in the progress right now.
They don't have to go to 10. But the other thing, couldn't they argue that they're being affected by inflation and everything else as well?
Oh, no doubt.
That 2 million is not going,
Great counterpoint from
2
Judah
million is not
Wickhauer.
going to go as far as it would last year or the year before.
Great counterpoint from Judah Wickhauer. And let's also put this on everybody's radar. There's numerous vacancies in City Hall. Eventually, they would like to fill these vacancies. And if they're going to fill these vacancies, how are they going to fill them? They need money to fill them.
Yeah.
And let's take it a step further. People in City Hall, dude, they went years without raises. Years without raises. They just recently gave City Hall employees raises. And I'm all for people getting raises every year. We do bumps every year. Okay? City Hall went years without raises. And I'm all for that, because if you don't give bumps, then you're not going to attract talent, and you're certainly not going to retain talent.
Yeah.
So leadership is getting kicked in the cojones from every single side as well. Now, this is what I learned from Scott Mortgage Morris. And this is terrifying. People are buying used cars today.
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear that part?
Yeah, that's terrifying.
You ready? Should I explain it? Get ready for your take on this.
It's like buying a house knowing that it's going to go underwater in a year or two, right?
People, get ready for your take. People are buying used cars today at the highest price points in the history of used cars. And because of supply chain constraints, these used cars can command prices that are unrealistic. However, the manufacturers will eventually get the chip shortages and the supply chains figured out. And when they do, the price points on these used cars are going to drop. But the people that get screwed royally are the ones that bought the used cars today. Because if they're forced to sell them, loss of job, medical issues, can't pay the mortgage, so you're trying to get rid of some assets to just cover a monthly bill,
They're going to take a massive loss.
they're going to be underwater tomorrow, the next year, when they go to sell. Take it a step further. Buying a used car today at the peak of the market, financing that used car, there's a lot less people that are going out and just paying for a car with a chunk of money, a bag of greenbacks, as opposed to financing it over a period of time.
Yeah.
So you buy the used car today at the top of the market. You finance it over 5, 6, 7 years, paying interest on it. Interest not eroding principal. And then you're forced to sell it next year or the year after at a time when the prices go down, when you really haven't paid much on the principal, primarily just interest. Dude, ay mi madre.
That's bankruptcy material.
Ay mi madre. Guys, this is real life. This is like Darwinistic life. Survival of the fittest in Charlottesville. Oh. Watch the personal property tax storyline. You're going to start seeing it. Watch it. I'm going to say it again, and it's an unpopular opinion. Are we on a 1 here? Are we still on a 2? Let's stay on a 2, because you're on fire. Let's stay on a 2.
All right.
It is fiscally, and this is going to be an unpopular opinion for some, and this is going to catch me to get some nastiness from social, but I got to say it because I feel it, I believe it, and I know in my heart of hearts I'm right. Okay, it is fiscally irresponsible to do a school reconfiguration project in this economic climate at $75 million for one school, Buford, and an additional $25 million for Walker. It is physically irresponsible for government to do that project, for 5 counselors to greenlight that project in its current state. It is fiscally irresponsible. It will expedite gentrification, and when the project is completed years from now, the people it's trying to serve today won't even be in this community even more. They can't afford to live in here. It's physically irresponsible to do the Buford $75 million school reconfiguration. And the reality is, instead of a reconfiguration at 75 mil, it should be a remodel at 20 or less, saving 50 million plus, alleviating burden off taxpayers and those that are living on the financial margin, and slowing the momentum of gentrification. Please understand that that take is coming from a place of empathy for our citizens that are struggling financially. And no, I'm not against narrowing the educational gap in city schools. And yes, I understand that gap widened because of the pandemic. But putting a project that's going to take years to do and funding that project on the sweat equity of a community that is getting kicked in the cojones from every single side is physically irresponsible. And it's time we voice that loudly to leadership in this community. Voice it loudly to leadership in Charlottesville. Thoughts, J-Dubs?
Yeah, I agree that we let them know. I think, though, that from what we've heard from both Michael Payne and Lloyd Snook, the city council knows about these issues, and I don't think they're going in trying to find a way to raise taxes 10 cents.
Payne and McGill, Sina McGill and Juan Diego Wade, 2 of 5, are pro 75 mil school reconfiguration. What we know from the interviews with Payne and Snook is they're very in tune with the proverbial you-know-what that's hit the fan.
Yeah.
Brian Pinkston is going to be the X factor. The 3-2. Brian Pinkston, giddy up and get ready. Your first rubber meets the road. What's the phrase? Your first decision that's going to really have an impact on this community is on the very near horizon, Brian Pinkston.
Yeah.
You got some sleepless nights ahead of you, BP. And that's going to be a decision and a vote that is going to determine this. Buford for the next generation and how it's going to look. And the socioeconomic demographics of the city of Charlottesville for generations to come and how they will look. That's going to be on Brian Pinkston's shoulders. Because I think Snook and Payne are no on the 75 million school reconfig. McGill and Wade ran on the campaign like this. He was a school board member for a decade plus.
But do you think that means he's all in for this? I mean, he's got to know the ramifications.
I think Juan Diego, and I love Juan Diego. Love Juan Diego. Juan Diego, you listen to the show. They all listen. They tell me they all listen to the show. I love Juan Diego. He's a school guy. He's a school board man, 10 plus years. Sina McGill in the last joint meeting between school board and council said, literally, I asked my daughter about this. She's in the schools. And the incredibly large sample size of one student said, we should do this project. And that's what she voiced on the record.
Well, at least she's talking to experts.
Was that tongue in cheek, or was that?
Yeah, that might have been a little sarcastic.
I mean, she is in the school, though.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean she's qualified to talk about school restructuring and how well that money is being spent on something like that.
Yeah. Oh, guys. Carol's dropping knowledge bombs today. Todd Divers, only one R in his last name, the Commissioner of Revenue, as Todd Divers put it last night, they better bar the doors of City Hall if the personal property taxes raise car taxes an average of 25 to 30%, and the real estate taxes go up as high as the 10 cents on top of inflation. Plus, Queen of Jack Jewett, the assessments that went up 12% on average. So Commissioner of Revenue telling council yesterday, this is why Carol Thorpe watches meetings like this. This is why I follow and watch meetings like this. Literally, the Commissioner of Revenue is warning. He's foreshadowing. You're a literary guy. This is foreshadowing. Mm-hmm. The definition of foreshadowing.
Oh, yeah.
This is Paul Revere with a lantern on horseback, riding through a trail somewhere in Boston and New England, screaming, the redcoats are coming. Todd Divers is on a horse with a lantern, trotting down the downtown mall with a megaphone, saying the taxes are increasing. And he says yesterday they better bar the doors of City Hall if the personal property taxes raise car taxes an average of 25 to 30%, and the real estate taxes go up as high as the 10 cents on top of inflation, on top of the assessments. And she continues, CT, you're on point today. As painful as it is to realize, sometimes you cannot afford what you cannot afford. Right now, Charlottesville cannot afford school reconfiguration. I could not agree more.
Yeah.
Kevin Higgins, the King of Greenwood. And the King of Greenwood sent me a Facebook message, direct message, before the show started. And King of Greenwood, Kevin Higgins, this will be on tomorrow's program, about Amazon coming to Augusta County. And he says they already took over the old Kmart spot in Waynesboro. Get ready, Waynesboro real estate. And he says Amazon, he sent me a link from Augusta County Economic Development and Tourism that Amazon is coming to Augusta County. He adds, so that topic, Kevin Higgins, will be on tomorrow's program, King of Greenwood. Thank you, Kevin Higgins. He adds this comment, the King of Greenwood, Kevin Higgins. Nelson County eliminated personal property taxes for the first half of 2020, and I'm pretty sure their tax rate remained unchanged in 2021. That's leadership and the right thing to do. Seville City Council, do you know where Nelson County is? Go meet with them. Kevin Higgins, I'm responding to your comment right now by saying, bravo, Kevin Higgins. I just laughed out loud. Oh, God. I'm going to tag Jesse Rutherford here on this, too. Jesse Rutherford, we love you. He's one of the Board of Supervisors in Nelson County. Nelson County's got a freaking surplus, a war chest of money.
Yeah.
A war chest of money, you know why?
And maybe one of the only smart towns in smart areas
jurisdictions
in the U.S.
They have a war chest of money.
Yeah.
They tell their people, we don't need to tax you. Nelson County, telling their people, we don't need to tax you. We got plenty of money.
Amazing.
Amazing. Amazing. Next topic on the program, Judah's bringing it. I'm hearing from multiple landlords, multiple business owners on the downtown mall that understand this platform's reach, that there's a press conference scheduled for this coming Monday at 10 a.m. in front of the Dewberry Hotel, the White Elephant of Charlottesville, the skeleton, the structure owned by whom, Judah?
Owned by Dewberry.
You don't like to use my moniker for him, do you?
I don't remember the entire moniker.
The extorting emperor of empty lots.
Yeah, I'm never going to remember that.
The extorting emperor of empty lots. Press conference scheduled for Dewberry Hotel.
Who's giving the press conference?
That we don't know. No more information given. Ludwig Kutner making moves behind the scenes. Can you got the photo from the Dewberry from yesterday? If you can get it up on the show, let me know. Give me a thumbs up when it's on there. Judah's got the yawn going over there. Look at the screen. Look at the screen. Look at the screen. This is the wrap around the Dewberry Hotel. Ludwig Kutner influence this wrap around the Dewberry Hotel, the White Elephant of Charlottesville. Owned by John Dewberry, grew up in Waynesboro, former quarterback, Georgia Tech Rambling Wreck. Now a developer in Atlanta, Georgia, dubbed by the I Love CVille Network the extorting emperor of empty lots. 10 a.m. Monday, that presser. We'll follow it closely on this very network. Next topic, J Dubs. Neil Williamson, are you watching? King of content, Neil Williamson. We love you, Neil Williamson. Dude, if Neil Williamson was here, I'd buy him a hot holly from Paul's Deli, and we'd have a pitcher of cold beer here, 2 hot hollies from Paul's Deli in Williamsburg, and we just shoot the you-know-what when it comes to storylines in Charlottesville. I love Neil Williamson. Love Neil Williamson. He lets us know yesterday that the Chipotle, a new Chipotle is coming to Hollymead and is going to replace the TGI Fridays, Hollymead Forest Lakes. That TGI Fridays has been vacant for years.
I didn't even know there was a TGI Fridays around here.
That's how long it's been vacant. Years it's been vacant. Does anyone know the last time TGI Fridays was open at Hollymead Forest Lakes? If I put the over-under at 5 years, am I safe in putting a prop bet of $100 of taking the over on 5 years? Am I safe on taking a placing a bet that TGI Fridays has been empty for over 5 years? I think I am safe on that prop bet. And I'd win a C note from Judah Woodcower. Are we putting a bet down on there? You want to bet a C note?
Yeah, no.
You don't want to bet a C note? I think it's been over 5 years. If anyone knows, let us know the actual time. Couple questions I have. A, Chipotle is like penetrating this market hard. They have Barracks Road, they have Pantops. Chipotle's going into the UVA corner. Chipotle is now Hollymead Town Center, the old TGI Fridays. That's 4 Chipotles. There's no more visible brand in this community. Oh, Starbucks is the most visible brand in this community. There's freaking Starbucks everywhere. There's Starbucks everywhere. The brand that does the most revenue in this community in totality because of the number of locations they have is Starbucks. Chick-fil-A is in the 2 slot. Chick-fil-A is a cash cow. And they're not even open on Sundays. Chipotles are penetrating this market. Wawas are penetrating this market. Everywhere I look, there's a freaking Wawa.
Really?
Fifth Street, there's going to be a Wawa. And the old, I'm drawing a blank on what it is. Hardee's.
Yeah.
There's going to be a Wawa there.
I was going to say Carl's Jr., but it's in the West.
So the news, Chipotle TGI Fridays location. Forest Lakes. Dude, let's cut to the chase. You got the North Point development at 29 North. Polo Grounds Road. You got UVA chitter-chattering about North Fork and 1,400 homes. Albemarle County, Greene County line.
Yeah.
UVA owned. RST, the out-of-town developer that's going to do affordable housing in that corridor. You have 3 massive developments in 1 corridor. North Point, North Fork, and RST, potentially over the next 10 years. in a corridor that was already densely populated because of Forest Lakes and because of Holly Mead.
Yeah.
That is going to turn into a city. Its own little shore pump to Richmond, Holly Mead and Forest Lakes is to Charlottesville. And we'll just further just dub it. What are we going to dub it? I mean, I guess it would be dubbed Holly Mead. You got a town center, Holly Mead Town Center, just like Short Pump Town Center, and just like the Short Pump community, Short Pump Town Center's in the Short Pump community, Holly Mead Town Center's in the Holly Mead community. Short Pump is to Richmond as Holly Mead is to Charlottesville.
I won't consider it official until they've got a movie theater.
Carol thinks it was about 4 years ago that she was doing karaoke at TGI Fridays. Robin is putting on a different page, Robin Fetter, that she thinks it's 10 years it's been vacant. TGI Fridays. Holly Mead is going to be the Short Pump of Charlottesville. 3 more topics. This one I found bananas. 146 new U.S. cities gain million-dollar status in 2021. The typical home value in 146 new U.S. cities is at least $1 million. According to Zillow, the United States of America currently has 481 million-dollar cities. That means cities where the home value is at least $1 million. 146 just entered the fold this past year. Idaho, Montana, and Tennessee gained million-dollar cities for the first time. This stat is crazy. This is according to Zillow. There are now more new $1 million cities, 146 of them, in 2021 than in the past 6 years combined.
But is that going to last? And what happens when you try to sell one of those cities?
49, according to Zillow, 49 more could join the $1 million club by mid-year of this year, taking the total to nearly $530 million cities in America. San Francisco and New York top the list. Los Angeles in the 3 slot. San Jose, California in the 4 slot. Boston, Massachusetts, 5 slots. Seattle, 6 slot. Miami, Florida, 7. DC, 8. Santa Rosa, Santa Maria, Santa Barbara, 9. So terrifying. It tells you something about Cali. This is where you grew up, right?
Oh, yeah.
Top 10, Judah. San Fran 1. LA 3. San Jose 4. Santa Rosa 9, Santa Maria, Santa Barbara, 10.
Santa Barbara, that's where I was born.
Yeah, 50% of the top 10 are Cali.
My parents have friends there that have little, I'm not talking postmark yards, I'm talking postmark houses.
Post stamp.
Yeah, that are, $1.5 million. Probably more now.
Freaking bananas. Bananas. This is all a cause and effect of COVID.
I think there's more involved than just COVID. But
I mean,
yes,
it was
a main driver.
It was a main driver. It was a main driver. Judah had a lot to say on this topic. Only 4 Kmart's left are in the United States of America. 4.
Well, yeah, I had no idea, but it's interesting. We talk about local versus I don't know, global. You've got Chipotle expanding, but here we've got Kmart dropping like flies. Just goes to show that not all the big boys are immune to the sea changes.
At its peak in the 1990s, Kmart operated about 2,400 stores and employed 350,000 people in the United States and in Canada. Its brands once included Payless drugstores, the Borders bookstore chain, and Sports Authority. I remember all those very well, in particular Sports Authority and Kmart.
I wonder if there's a threshold under which you just start to, you know it's over. Because think about it, Kmart and places like Walmart and big companies like that, part of how they sell their product cheaply is by having
Economies of scale.
They basically got a web across the U.S. where they can ship things and what do you do with 4 stores? Like, do you have a hub somewhere that's only job is servicing 4 Kmarts? I'd like to know where these 4 Kmarts are.
I can tell you. Now, with 4 stores, the 4 will be it's a city in, one of the cities in New Jersey is Avenel, Avenel. Am I saying that right? Avenel, New Jersey. The second is in northern New Jersey in Westwood. And then there's one on Long Island, New York. Yeah. And interestingly, one in Miami.
Okay.
I find that interesting. Long Island, Westwood, New Jersey, Avenel, New Jersey, and one in Miami. At its peak, it had 2,400 stores and 350,000 employees. There was a time when I was a kid where my family would go to the Kmart in Williamsburg and buy the Little Caesars pizzas. Remember the long rectangle Little Caesars pizzas? And get some crazy bread with it. The Kmarts had Little Caesars pizzas in the front. In fact, the one on 29, the Kmart by Gold's Gym on 29 used to have a Little Caesars pizza in there.
Yeah.
Like a Little Caesars cafe.
Right.
And you could get those long rectangular Little Caesars pizzas that had the paper top. It wasn't in a box. It was in this had cardboard on the bottom, and it was covered with this paper to keep the heat in. And we'd have some crazy bread. And my brother and I, Jeffrey and I, were like a Cheshire cat with a sleeve of Ritz crackers and a tin can of sprayed Cheese Whiz. Happy. I would say the cat, Cheshire cat. If he had a sleeve of Ritz crackers and a spray can of Cheese Whiz, would be happy. I would be happy if I had a sleeve. My brother-in-law likes to use that analogy often. I think it's great imagery, Uncle Wes. Great imagery. Last topic today. Duke, a 5-point favorite. They visit the John Paul Jones Arena, where they will face Tony Bennett's bunch, Tony Bennett's boys, 7 o'clock tip, ESPN. Some say this is a must-win game for the University of Virginia and Tony Bennett's boys if they'd like to go salsa dancing in March in the NCAA tournament. UVA has some impressive wins on its resume. They've beaten Duke and Cameron, and they've swept Miami, to name a few. But they have some concerning losses on their resume as well, including losses to JMU and to Navy. This is a very different team than what it was earlier in the year, where it was struggling to find its identity. They have a chance on national television, ESPN, they're 5-point underdogs, to stick it to Mike Krzyzewski and the Duke Blue Devils, a team I utterly despise. I utterly despise the Duke Blue Devils, my most hated sports team of any, regardless of the sport. You win this game and you finish the season strong, and you very well could go dancing in March, and you can make a legitimate argument that this may be Tony Bennett's best coaching year at his time in Charlottesville. He is a team that undoubtedly is lacking talent. And right now he has them at 17-10 overall, 5th in the ACC at 11-6 with 3 regular season games left. Duke tonight, ESPN. Florida State at home on 2/26, which is Saturday, 4 o'clock tip. And the season finale at Louisville on March 5th. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, Tony Bennett. We brought some serious ammunition for you today. I hope you found today's show engaging, entertaining, empathetic, enlightening. I'm running out of E words. You got any other E words? Engaging, entertaining.
Elucidating.
Elucidating, is that an E word?
Elucidating.
All right, elucidating.
Let's see.
Engaging, entertaining, enlightening, elucidating, empathetic, energetic. It was energetic today.
Yeah.
Guys, we love you. This is the program. It's the I Love CVille show where we showcase the best of Charlottesville, Virginia. Thank you kindly for joining us. For Judah Wickower, who crushed it today, my name is Jerry Miller. Hasta luego.